This guy is a traitor, dual citizen. He is loyal to another country, not America. His words prove it. His actions prove it. And these little, you know what, have a clique, just like somebody in history talked about. And I have to say that at one time, I think a lot of us used to believe all this. But we're starting to see the true light of the darkness that these traitors talk about. They infiltrators, parasites, and they suck on their host until it is dead. And every nation that they have been in for the last 2,000 years has the same ramifications from this parasital group that claims to be the chosen ones. Ha 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 ha.
Now let's talk a little bit about Israel, because I know that that is something we all care about. Shomer Yisrael. It's one of the most important things I do, to watch, be the guardian of Israel. First and foremost.
Be the guardian of Israel, first and foremost.
See, you can see where their loyalty lies. How can an American ever vote for a dual citizen? That their loyalty is to another country, not the country that they're actually serving in government. That actually is a traitorous act due to the fact that their actions show their traitorous motives and what their true actions are.
Strong supporter of Israel, what do you say?
You may know, my name is a Hebrew word. Shomer is the Hebrew word for guardian or watchman. I keep close to the Jewish state. It's in my heart. I do whatever I can. To me, this is what it means to be Jewish. My name is a Hebrew word. Schumer comes from the Hebrew word shomer, which means guardian, watchman. That name was given to me for a reason. For as long as I live, for as long as I have the privilege of serving in the Senate from New York, I will unflinchingly, unstintingly, and with all of my strength be Shomer Yisrael, a guardian of Israel. I want to...
See, he's telling you right there, his loyalty is where I just said, to that place over in the Middle East that we call our friend. But they actually have people like him that are provocateurs that are using America for their benefit, to build their nation, to build their armies, to further their propaganda through the media that they control, like the Federal Reserve, which is not federal at all, which is owned by 13 families from you-know-what group. So, needless to say, a lot of people will say that this is anti-Semitic, but it's not. When we can't talk about these things and they're shut down and shut out, we have a problem. If we can't put something on the table and discuss it, we have a problem. When a group of people can't be questioned in their actions, we have a problem. When all of the above things that are going on that are linked to this organization and this group, we have a serious global problem with a clique of a criminal organization. Every time we turn around, Zato strikes again and again and again. And who writes the laws in America? Look at the names. Who writes the educational books? Look at the names. I further need not to speak about this no more, due to the fact that the evidence is blatantly in your faces. But that is if you want to look for it. But if you are sidelined with deception to create another perception, you will continue believing what you have been told.
Talk about anti-Semitism. Help Israel fight against anti-Semitism. There's only one word for it: anti-Semitism. Generations of Jews had been expelled from their homes in Spain, slandered with blood libel in France. Russian Jews chased from town to town by Cossack.
The Bolshevik Revolution was incited by you people anyways, so what are we talking about? It's the point the finger while I'm doing it and blame somebody else for their actions. And that seems to be the pretty good motto that happens with this.
Every nation can live in peace, but the Jewish nation cannot. The United
Well, with that attitude, you'll never be friends or coexistence with people if you think that every time you turn around, for every action that you do, you're going to be criticized and maybe victimized. Look, you don't get kicked out of 110 nations in 2,000 years and you're the complete victim and you did nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong, man. Bullshit. It's time to start questioning, what did you do wrong to get kicked out of these nations? That is the question that needs to be put on the table and seriously dealt with. Because there's a pattern here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not recognizing it for what it is.
States must always come to the aid of our friend Israel. A strong America in the world is very good for Israel. Bipartisan support that Israel has always enjoyed. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, and independents must stand united in our support for Israel. In my home state of New York, the state legislature passed a law saying if your business or university boycotts Israel, the state of New York will boycott you.
Yeah, you noticed that. So here's the thing. The people that you can't talk about are the very people who are ruling you. This is why freedom of speech is highly important, because it makes you question. It makes you critical think. It makes a lot of things happen. Even violence sometimes. And maybe the violence may be right or it may be wrong. But freedom of speech and freedom of action must always be held true to the heart. Because when people like these people censor you from speaking, that makes them the tyrants. Come on with the common sense, ladies and gentlemen. When you can't speak about something or even somebody on an intellectual level, and let's lay down the roots of the very problems where they stem from, and who is aiding and abetting these problems, and who is involved with these problems, and who seems to be always involved in these problems. Why aren't we asking these questions? Why aren't we intellectually pondering these ideas that are now stifling our voices, stifling our actions? Which brings in another whole concept of reality if we allow this to continue on. This is a manipulation of a perception, of a deception, of reality from the greatest storytellers of all time, these gypsies. They're gypsies, nomadic people, and they have not earned what they have already gained. by playing victimhood. You're only going to get where you're going to go by earning it. Not conning people, not making people shut up. Honesty goes a long way, believe me. If it's that good, you don't have to sell it to somebody, believe me. Whatever it is, it could be freedom. It could be buying a new car. Anything above. We have a serious problem on the globe that seriously needs to be attended to. And hopefully we can do this on an intellectual level without being stifled by this group of people or shunned out or censored, and not be mocked when we talk about it and called names, trigger words, because this is what's happening, because we can't talk about it. And that is a serious freaking problem, ladies and gentlemen.